How deep can a man's passion go? He is chopping vegetables. A beautiful woman is sitting nearby, waiting for him, but he doesn't look at her. He only focuses on his cooking. He's making the food for her, but not because he wants to impress her. What he really cares about is perfection. He wants the parsley to match perfectly with the pasta. He doesn't need luxury ingredients. The garlic gives it flavor. The burnt edges and the olive oil bring out the aroma. The taste comes from how the ingredients react together. He finishes cooking and serves it with confidence, then walks away. A good man knows how to wait. For him, food comes before anything else. He is a brilliant chef. The pork belly he cooks is crispy on the outside and tender inside. The bacon he fries is crunchy but not burnt. The hash brown he makes is soft and chewy but never sticks to the pan. He puts all his effort into every dish. Even when making a school breakfast for his son, he takes it seriously. He spreads butter on toast and presses it into the pan, listening to the sizzling sound. When the toast is nearly done, he lays 4 kinds of cheese on top like he's playing cards. He keeps frying until the cheese melts. The result is golden, crispy, and stretchy. The sandwich is packed with calories. His son will probably be chubby like him one day. A chef this good naturally works at a fancy 5-star restaurant. He is a well-known head chef in the area, but because he's so skilled, his job has become a trap. Every day, he's overwhelmed. While cooking for the restaurant, he moves like a machine, handling multiple tasks at once. He feels anxious. His busy job caused his divorce. Now, he can't even spend proper time with his son. Usually, he just takes him grocery shopping and calls it father-son time. But really, he's making his son help with work. His stress comes from his boss, the restaurant owner. The man is greedy and stingy. He has strict rules and only wants the chef to cook the dishes that sell best. For 10 years, it's been the same menu. The chef is forced to repeat the same meals again and again until it drives him crazy. If he wants to try something new, he's told to do it at home. In the restaurant, he must stick to the old hits. One day, a famous food critic is coming to review the restaurant. The critic is very influential. To prepare, the chef works hard for days. He sees it as the perfect chance to try new dishes. But when the boss shows up, he shuts everything down. He says, "I know better than you," and rejects all the chef's ideas. All the chef's hard work is wasted. He looks completely hopeless, but still turns back to make the same old dishes. As expected, the critic eats the usual menu and posts a bad review online. He says the chef has lost his creativity. The critic has a huge following and the negative review spreads quickly. The chef sees his name all over the internet. He takes pride in his work, so it really hurts him. The more it hurts, the more he reads. He scrolls through the comments all night. He finally loses control. He makes a social media account and insults the critic, saying, "You don't know anything about food." The online crowd loves the fight between the elite chef and the famous food critic. Soon, everyone is talking about it. The chef challenges the critic to come back to the restaurant. The critic agrees. Now the whole internet is waiting for their second showdown. To prepare, the chef experiments all night. He creates new dishes, shrimp with sea urchin, slow-cooked beef, and special stuffed pigeon. The flavors are bold, and people who try them are amazed. On the day of the rematch, the restaurant is fully booked. The chef is confident and ready to show off his new creations, but the boss comes in again and ruins everything. He orders the chef to cook the old menu. The chef says, "Did you see what he wrote about me?" But the restaurant owner doesn't care. He replies, "I don't care what he wrote about you. You're a cook. You're a chef. This place has been full of people eating your food for the past 10 years. Now suddenly you want to be an artist? Be an artist on your own time." This time, the chef refuses to give in. He's furious. He quits on the spot and goes home, still full of rage. In his kitchen, he cooks again, from main course to dessert, paying extreme attention to every detail. Back at the restaurant, his former assistant becomes the temporary head chef, but he fails even with basic dishes. When the critic arrives and learns that the chef isn't there, he mocks him online, calling him a coward who ran away. The chef sees this new post and snaps. He leaves the food he was cooking and storms into the restaurant. He yells at the critic, pointing in his face. His anger builds. He smashes a cake in front of everyone and shouts, "You make jokes without thinking, just to get laughs. Do you have any idea how hard I work for this? How hard my team works?" It really hurts when you write things like that. It genuinely hurts. The more a person cares about their work, the more easily they get hurt. Some people only need to type a few words to destroy someone else's work that took days and nights of effort. Talking is easy, doing the work is hard. Who understands that kind of loneliness? A few days later, the chef hits rock bottom. He loses his job and the video of him yelling spreads online. Now no restaurant wants to hire him. Someone invites him to join a reality show, thinking any fame, even bad, is still fame. But the chef says, I don't want to get involved in that. I just want to cook food. He drinks every day to deal with his sadness. He gains weight and stops spending time with his son. But the poor boy watches his dad's embarrassing video online and becomes quiet and distant. One night, the chef vents to his girlfriend. He says he's been suffering for too long and needs to think about what really matters in life. Losing his job might actually be a blessing in disguise. She tells him, I want you to be happy. You'll never be happy this way. He stays silent. They part ways on good terms. Then, the chef decides to spend more time with his son. His wealthy ex-wife offers a plan. She wants him to take care of their son for a week and go back to her hometown with him. He agrees. They fly to Miami. That's where the chef started his career and where he met his ex-wife and had their son. They visit his ex-father-in-law's bar. Surrounded by music and food, his son slowly becomes happy again. Seeing this, the chef realizes that love is the strongest, most natural force in life. While eating an authentic Cuban sandwich, the ex-wife casually mentions her ex-husband in Miami. He's rich and has a food truck he never uses. She suggests the chef borrow it. That's when he realizes this trip was all part of her plan to help him bounce back. He accepts the idea. He visits the ex-husband, who mocks him from the start. After lots of awkward talk, he finally gives the chef a food truck. But it looks terrible, like it just came out of the ground. The chef has no choice but to fix it. He brings his son along. They spend hours cleaning, scraping, and scrubbing, and the son even gets grossed out by a rotten fish in the freezer and refuses to work. The father gets angry, thinking his son is acting spoiled. Kitchen work is tough. There's no room for complaints. They argue in the middle of the day, but make up at sunset. It's their first time spending so much time together. They both feel a little lost, but also a little happy. The chef's former assistant hears he's restarting with a food truck. He was about to get a promotion, but he quits and flies across the country to help him. A true friend appears in hard times. Soon, the truck is fully cleaned and ready. Their food journey is about to begin. The top-level chef gave up his high-paying job and started selling food from a truck. He didn't expect that he would become the most popular street food guy in the area. Every day, thousands of people lined up to buy his food. He was making so much money he could barely count it all. His first dish was a classic southern snack, Cuban sandwiches. The key to this sandwich is the meat in the middle. He needed fresh pork shoulder. He soaked it in a mix of orange juice and lime juice, along with many spices to make a flavorful marinade. After rubbing the meat with the mixture, he let it sit for 12 hours. Then he roasted it. This gave him the famous Cuban roasted pork. He sliced the meat and grilled the slices. At the same time, he grilled white sandwich bread, added 2 slices of ham, and stacked 3 slices of pork. While it was hot, he added 2 slices of cheese and 2 slices of pickles. On the other slice of bread, he spread mustard. There was one more important step. The bread needed butter. He spread butter on the outside of the sandwich and also on the grill. He pressed the sandwich on the hot surface until the cheese melted and the bread turned golden. The final result was the world-famous Cuban sandwich. It was crispy, full of flavor, and full of the kind of fatty, starchy comfort that made people happy. The 5-star food truck officially opened. Soon, customers crowded around the window. Many were blue-collar workers. One sandwich wasn't enough for them. Some ordered 3. Just by looking at the puffed-out cheeks of those strong men while chewing, you could tell how good the food was. Their next stop was by the beach, where they started selling again. The prices were fair and the grilled meat smelled amazing. Soon, the food truck was surrounded by people in swimsuits. Their cash box quickly filled up. Women lined up and posted photos online. The food truck went viral. Next, they headed toward New Orleans, a paradise for food lovers. The trip took a full day and night. On the way, the chef had a deep talk with his son. For the first time, the chef realized how much his son was like him, and it was also the first time the boy saw his father relaxed. They arrived in New Orleans early in the morning. The sun was just rising and the streets were cool and quiet. The chef closed the truck and took his son out for some special food. They went to a 100-year-old shop that only made French-style donuts. This time, the chef didn't think about work. He focused on his son's mood. When they returned to the truck, a long line had already formed, stretching dozens of meters. The chef was shocked. It turned out his son had been walking around filming and posting videos. He created a social media account for their journey. Thanks to the chef's earlier viral moment, this new content spread quickly online. With this wave of internet fame, the chef became popular again, and his son became a little genius in his eyes. It was another busy but happy day. The chef prepared food and took orders while chatting with customers. He proudly told them he had no boss and no pressure. The team worked and had fun at the same time, and the money kept pouring in. The chef took his son across the country to taste all kinds of food. In Texas, they had firewood smoked barbecue. It had to be cooked with hardwood for 18 hours straight. This dish was made in limited amounts each day. The chef had called ahead and asked a friend to save a few pieces for them. He let his son try it. It was so good, the boy closed his eyes while eating. The chef added those happy experiences to his menu. He created new dishes, each one full of love and personal meaning. He fell in love with cooking again. He also rediscovered the happiness he used to feel when making food. As the trip neared its end, one night the chef and his son sat on top of the truck, chatting. They didn't seem like father and son, they felt like close friends. The father helped his son record a short vlog. He told him that just like the clips in a video, life is also made up of small pieces. He said, "We're going to go back to our normal lives. I'll be busy with the truck. You'll be busy with school." He hoped his son wouldn't feel disappointed. This was how life worked. But he added, "We had a lot of fun, and no one can take away what we experienced together. I feel like I really got to know you." The trip was over. The chef went back to his old home. Life looked the same, but something inside him had changed. In the past, the wrong kind of job had made his passion feel like a lifeless routine. Chopping and cooking the same way every day had made him numb and short-tempered. He had turned into a fat, rusty screw in the system. But this journey with his family turned him back into a real person. In his dusty old apartment, he opened the laptop and watched the video his son had made. He felt calm and at peace for the first time in a long while. He didn't just find his love for cooking again, he also found what really mattered in life: true friendship, family, and love. These important relationships were like a dam. Life would always throw waves of trouble at you, but with that dam in place, you wouldn't be swept away. The chef truly became stronger. One day, the food critic returned, but this time the chef didn't explode in anger like before. The critic had heard how popular the truck had become. He secretly bought a Cuban sandwich, took one bite, and immediately wanted to give it 10 stars. But instead of writing another review, he offered to invest in the chef and open a new restaurant with him. It was a deal worth millions, all made over one sandwich. The chef accepted happily. With his skills now more mature and calm, he opened a new place. After things became stable, he even got remarried to his ex-wife. Life didn't look too different from before, but now it felt warm and new again.